Thank you. My name is Dr. Shami Zico. I'm the Director of Percussion at Southeast Missouri State University. And this is the SEMO Steel Drum Band. I'm glad to be back. I think this is maybe year number 6 or so, give or take. We're going to mix up traditional kind of steel drum, islandish stuff with a few arrangements, Christmas-esque, holiday-esque kind of stuff. So this next one, you'll kind of recognize. One of the standards we have to play, no matter when we play, we always have to play this one. You'll recognize it. The other thing I'm trying to get them to do, so you know a little bit about this ensemble. This is a class. We do rehearse Wednesday evenings generally. And this year we had a huge turnover rate, so we have a lot of new people. So we try to get them to look like they're having fun. Some of them are still in terror trying to find the notes and such. So I'll show you the instruments in a little bit, but try to smile. Number five. So I will be giving them a lot of direction, because every tune, we have almost 50 tunes in the book. We know about 20 to 25 of them at any given moment, and they all have different roadmaps. And since they're all new, a lot of the roadmaps are not written in. It's just by memory. So this one, guys, it's just lead at the beginning. And then I point to you, then you come in. Not here. And you wait. Remember the code on this one, too. Again, we go back to the introduction. So a lot of pointing and stuff here. Here we go. These. 29B. We have them all numbers. This is 29B. It's part of our holiday series. They probably won't be smiling much on this one. They have to think a lot on this one. Maybe by the next set for the consonants. One more set. Seventeen. 17, not 17A. Only section A. I'll go 17A. C. Go back to C. All the way down to. So one of the common styles in music of Trinidad and Tobago is where these pans are from, is soca. And this is what this one is. Nice, it's in two. And you'll hear that the groove that Simon's playing back there. We also have the break drum. I think Ace is playing that. Go ahead and play the break drum for us. So go ahead and hold that up. It is actually a break drum from a car. Just call those the irons. Sometimes we use sticks on those. Sometimes you can use two little metal rods. But that's one of the characteristic sounds in a soca. So this one is called Sweet Sugar Cane. And it's a little long road piece, but it keeps moving. Jump, 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 jump. So you should hear the engine room, which is the drum set, the brake drum. We have cowbell, Abby, and Alexis playing the shaker. That's all part of the engine room to keep us going here. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and. To 29C. Good? We're going to go to number 4, but I'm going to talk a little bit first. So, show and tell. I'm not taking yours. So yes, these are from Trinidad and Tobago. These are originally 55-gallon barrels. They just cut off and pound down the first part, the top of it. Ours have the notes written in them, most of them do. Just because we have so many students that go through, and the notes are in different orders. They're not in a chromatic order. They're kind of in fourths and fifths. It depends on the pan. This one here is called the lead pan, or the melody pan, the tenor pan. All the melodies you hear mostly come from this front row. There's no amplification or anything. It's just that loud. So these are called the leads. And then the next one down are the double seconds. Jeremy, you want to play something on those? You can see the skirts are a little bit. The skirts are a little longer, so there's fewer notes on each pan. This one has all the chromatic notes on it. You might have the naturals on one side and the flats and the sharps on the other side. On Jeremy's pan back there, because the notes are lower, they take up more surface area. So he needs to have. There we go. Oh. There we go. On the double seconds, which are these three here, Jeremy, Jacob, McKenna, you might have a C natural on this pan and a C sharp over here. The notes take up more area, so they need to have more pans to cover all the notes. From then, you go to what's more common are the triple cellos. Ace has got a similar version, double cellos, but Maddie's got more notes, lower notes. So those are called the cellos or the guitars, because they do a lot of strumming, a lot of the parts they play. So Maddie, why don't you play a couple notes? So we're getting lower and lower. You can see the pan. You're using more of a barrel. You can actually recognize that it's from a barrel on those because you start seeing a little seam around it. And those are so these are the melody. All the middle row are pretty much the harmony and the chords. They do have melody over here sometimes. Then we get down to the big bass pans that actually look like 55-gallon barrels. So AJ back there has 3 notes on each pan, and that's it. So it takes, he's the most comfortable. That's why we have to rent a U-Haul, is because of AJ. So, my bad. Yeah, so go ahead and play some notes on it. Yes. He only gets 3 notes in each drum, so to get all the notes, we have to have 6 pans to get all the notes on those. So very often we travel with a bass guitar player when we don't have enough room. But I know this venue we have plenty of room, so we brought AJ with us. So I already mentioned the engine room, which is the drum set we're very common with, and then the brake drum, scrapers, and I don't know what else we have back there. Cowbell, shakers. We got just whatever we decide to add in there. So everything we're playing, most of the stuff we play is very pop oriented. Steel drum, we like it. It's more of a novelty thing that we generally play, like Margaritaville, which we just played, and some of the other tunes we have been playing for you today mostly. There is a very serious side to pan. You can play Bach on pan, you can play Chopin, you can play anything that's written out there. If it fits on the instrument, you can play it. So we have a special treat today. Gavin has learned a solo that's written, I don't know, when was this written? You know when it was composed? 2000 something?
Yeah, some fairly early.
Fairly recent.
Fairly recent.
So he's actually, it's a solo pan, just solo. He uses 2 mallets for most of it. There's a couple sections where he has to get another mallet probably.
Yes.
Or you're actually playing on that pan too, aren't you?
Yeah.
So yeah, move on out there. Maybe move up a little bit so these folks down here can see it. So he will actually have 3 mallets in at one point. This is like a 3-minute solo or so, but more classical or more legit versus the commercial music and pop music. What's this piece called?
Murasaki.
Murasaki.
Which is Japanese for purple.
That's right, that's purple. So, this is the other side of steel pan. So anything's possible on pan. It's a beautiful piece. It's really nice. I'm glad he learned that. And that's actually that version. There's actually a little rest of the piece that he hasn't quite finished yet. But that's actually a chamber version that is supposed to be played also with harp and cello and
Drum set and bass.
drum set and bass. So very exciting arrangement that hopefully we'll get to do the whole thing. What is it? 17B? Yeah, I do that. We were very fortunate. We had a guest steel pan artist come to the university about a month ago, first week in November, and he had done, his name is Alex Fragiscatos, who teaches up at Missouri Methodist, Central Methodist up in Columbia area, and he's done a lot of arrangements. So there's actually a pop artist down in Trinidad and Tobago that's written a number of pieces, and Alex took a lot of them and arranged them. This is one of them called Epic, and it's a fun one. Don't be lost. Don't get the repeat. Go back to A, right? A good key signature. E flat, E flat. All the same stuff. You tell every other instrumentalist, right? We read traditional music. It is B flat, E flat on this one. If you're musically inclined, you know what that means. Just got to remind you. Like I said, they're like deer in headlights with a lot of this stuff. It's new to most of them. How many people are new this semester? Yeah, that's a lot of the band. And I said, we're going to do this gig regardless. We're going to do it. This is a fun one. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 32. Week briefing.
Yeah.
Week briefing is a little special version. So we can be very mellow when we want to. Let's see. Well, we got a couple others. Oh, should we do? You guys want to hear some funk? Yes. They want to play this, so we're gonna play 17D. This is truly not a piece written for steel band, but it's a fun arrangement. You guys don't have to play loud, just play clean. They also get carried away with it. Not very Christmassy, but it's fun. Oh, here we go. Feel free to clap along if you play. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 10. time we have. I don't want you to be late to your next one. We're going to start with some other stuff at 2:30, I guess, in about 15 minutes. Yes, sir.
How difficult is it to find music that's transposed for a steel drum band? And the other question I have is, are most of the members traditional percussion that sort of branched out?
Yeah, well, the arrangements, there's more and more coming available, so I know where to find them right now. And now the students play many different things. There are some percussionists in here. There's 2 horn players, right? French horn majors, clarinets, vocal back there, vocal major, composition, non-music major, what is your film, TV, something of that. That's Jeremy too. And then we have a graduate, composition and clarinet. So a little bit of everything in there. When they join the class, it's pretty much baptism by fire. You just jump into the pan and this is how it goes. You learn how to play it. They all read music. So that's why we have a book of almost 50 tunes, and about 20 to 25 of them we play on a regular basis, because they can all read music. And once you find the note, because the notes are not chromatic like I mentioned before, they're in random spots. So you're welcome to come up as we're leaving here and check them out. I just ask that you be careful, because they are fragile, they move around. So thank you so much. We're going to do a similar thing starting in about 15 minutes. So thank you.